I got about 2 hours sleep.
We met Courtney Modisette at 6:30 a.m. in Westfield, Indiana, proudly perched outside the door for a 7 p.m. Trump event. What possessed you to come here 12 and a half hours early for the Trump rally?
My kids are going to remember this. Their kids are going to remember this. And I grew up with my family loving Trump.
What is it that brings you out here today?
Well, I mean, I'm missing school. I woke up, my alarm didn't go off, went over to Michelle's house. She was like, come to the Trump rally. I was like, okay, I'm here for a good time. I'm missing school. I just moved here. Why not?
Where'd you move from?
New Hampshire.
You like early primary states, it turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Did you even know that?
No. Don't ask my history teacher. He probably would be like, yeah, no, she knows nothing.
I won't ask your history teacher because then he'll know you're missing school today.
So this person is missing school so that they can go get an education elsewhere. That Donald Trump education, that MAGA education.
I just wonder too, I mean, how come almost everybody I know of that went to college is a Biden supporter? Yeah. And I don't understand how everybody is a Biden supporter if you just went to college. So what are they teaching in this college? Are they teaching anything?
Stuff like inclusivity and respecting other people, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, woke.
Yeah, wokeness, yeah.
And of course, it's no coincidence whatsoever that the Republican Party is anti-education.
Hi, kids. Look at these great. Are they all great students?
Nice to meet you.
She's a teacher here?
Yes, thank you.
Great students.
Yes, we're working hard.
So we won the evangelicals. We won with young. We won with old. We won with highly educated. We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated. We're the smartest people. We're the most loyal people.
And this here is what Betsy DeVos thinks education should look like in 2023. I know y'all remember good old Betsy DeVos, right?
Just to put a hypothetical out there, a young man who's living in a rural area in the one of the Dakotas, let's say, and lives on a large family farm. So in the morning he may be enrolled in a course at Columbia on the Great Book Series, and he's out in the fields while listening to whatever book is being discussed at that moment. He takes his literature and English classes that way. Then he may go to do an apprenticeship at the John Deere factory, or not the John Deere plant and operation that's not too far away, and learns from the brightest and best engineers on artificial intelligence and engineering and that confluence. And then perhaps he goes in the afternoon to a charter school where he takes some of his core subjects in person with some other classmates.
Before I was a politician, I was a teacher in an underfunded public school. I taught 45 kids in one classroom. I was a middle school teacher, so that's 45 middle schoolers in one classroom. And it was right after lunch, so you can imagine the chaos. There weren't enough desks for all of my students. So I had kids sitting on the air conditioning unit. In the richest country in human history, in one of the richest states in that rich country, in the 21st century, children sitting on the air conditioning unit. Texas is 43rd in the nation in per student education funding. Our schools are $40 billion behind the national average. Texas teachers are making less than they did 10 years ago. And property taxes are through the roof because local taxpayers are trying to stop the bleeding as we in the state legislature fail to do our job. We have a school funding emergency in this state, and it is the fault of our state government. So instead of passing a private school voucher scam that will siphon off billions of dollars from our already underfunded public schools, why don't we fully fund our neighborhood schools? Why don't we give every Texas teacher a $15,000 pay raise? Why don't we lower class sizes, hire more counselors, fund more programs for more students? Instead of subsidizing the private education of the wealthy few, why don't we invest in our public schools that are meant for all of us so that we can all thrive, so our economy can thrive?
It's really nothing new that the Republican Party is anti-education, whether it be banning books that mention gay people whatsoever, because, these days kids can't get on Google and watch television and, watch things on YouTube or pretty much have access to whatever they want. So banning those books in schools that they weren't reading anyway, of course, that's incredibly important. Then you got Mark Robinson from North Carolina, the guy who's running from governor. He says that, kids after fifth grade or before fifth grade, you don't really need to know about social studies. They don't really need to be learning about science and things like that. And of course, according to Mark Robinson, Jay-Z, he's like some type of a demon and, sent here by Satan and stuff like that, because that's the real important education we need to be learning. We got to get God back into the schools, even though that's literally against the Constitution and it's anti-American. It's not the America that they want. And Republicans wanting to be like, hey, is this teacher a Republican or a Democrat? They've, tried many times for teachers to be forced to disclose that information for the parents, even though that really doesn't matter. When it comes to Republicans and education. Oh, and I almost forgot, getting rid of the education department. That's not a new goal of the Republican Party either. When it comes to education, the Republican Party just really isn't that big of a fan.